Adolf Hitler wasn't a genius. He wasn't a military mastermind. He was a failed artist with extreme ideas rejected by nearly everyone. In 1928, his party had less than 3% of the vote. 5 years later, he controlled all of Germany. How did the most educated nation in Europe hand power to a man who promised violence? This is the real story of how the Nazis rose to power, not through revolution, through democracy. 1918, Germany loses World War I. Kaiser Wilhelm abdicates, monarchy ends. Weimar Republic established Germany's first democracy. Treaty of Versailles imposed crushing terms. Germany forced to accept blame for the entire war. Massive reparations, $33 billion, over $500 billion today. Territory lost to 13% of land, 10% of population. Military reduced to 100,000 soldiers. Germans humiliated, stabbed in the back, myth spreads. Many blamed politicians who signed the treaty November criminals. Hyperinflation 1923 money became worthless. A wheelbarrow of cash couldn't buy bread. Middle-class savings wiped out overnight. Democracy was associated with humiliation and poverty. The stage was set for someone to offer an alternative. Born in Austria, 1889. Failed artist rejected from Vienna Academy of Fine Arts twice. Lived in homeless shelters, sold postcards, served in German army during WWI, wounded, decorated. After the war, joined small political party in Munich. German Workers' Party, later renamed Nazi Party. Discovered his talent, public speaking. Hitler's speeches were emotional, powerful, hypnotic. He told Germans what they wanted to hear. Germany didn't lose the war, it was betrayed. Jews and communists were to blame. Germany was destined for greatness. 1923 Beer Hall Putsch, attempted coup in Munich. Failed, Hitler arrested and imprisoned. Wrote Mein Kampf in prison, outlined his entire ideology. Anti-Semitism, expansion, racial purity, all spelled out. Released after 9 months, returned to politics. Decided to seize power through democracy, not revolution. We will hold our noses and enter parliament. 1924 to 1929, Germany stabilizes Weimar. Republic seems secure. Nazi Party remains fringe to 2.6% in 1928 election. Then October 1929, Wall Street crash. Great Depression devastates Germany. American loans recalled, German economy collapses. Unemployment explodes, minus 6 million jobless by 1932. 1 in 3 workers unemployed. Government-paralyzed coalitions collapse repeatedly. People lost faith in democracy. Communists gained support, middle class terrified. Nazis offered simple answers. Blame the Jews, blame the communists, blame the Treaty of Versailles. Vote for us, we'll fix everything. Hitler promised jobs, pride, revenge. Nazi rallies were spectacles, flags, music, uniforms. Propaganda genius Joseph Goebbels controlled the message. S.A. Brownshirts beat opponents in the streets. Violence was part of the appeal's strength. 1930 election. Nazis jump from 2.6% to 18.3%. 1932 elections. Nazis become largest party, minus 37%. Not a majority, but the biggest. January 30th, 1933. The day democracy died. President Hindenburg reluctantly appoints Hitler as chancellor. Why establishment politicians thought they could control him? Franz von Papen. We've hired him. They were catastrophically wrong. February 27, 1933. Reichstag fire. Parliament building burns. Communist blamed. Hitler declares emergency civil liberties suspended. Mass arrests of communists and opponents. March 1933. Enabling Act passed. Hitler granted power to make laws without parliament. Only the Social Democrats voted against it. Democracy voted itself out of existence. Other parties banned or dissolved themselves. Trade unions crushed, press controlled. July 1933. Nazi Party declared the only legal party. Within 6 months, total dictatorship. All legal, all through the system. March 1933. Dachau first concentration camp opens. Initially for political prisoners, communists, socialists. Jews systematically excluded from society. April 1933. Boycott of Jewish businesses. Laws banned Jews from civil service universities. Books by Jews and opponents burned publicly. Nuremberg Laws, 1935. Jews stripped of citizenship. Kristallnacht, 1938. Coordinated attacks on Jewish homes and businesses. 91 Jews killed, 30,000 sent to camps. The world watched and did little. Hitler remilitarized, reclaimed territory. Britain and France tried appeasement. September 1939. Germany invades Poland. World War II begins. 6 years of war minus 70 million dead. The Holocaust to 6 million Jews murdered. Roma, disabled, LGBTQ political prisoners, millions more. All because one man was given power. And no one stopped him until it was too late. How did the most educated nation in Europe fall for this? Economic desperation, people wanted someone to fix things. National humiliation, people wanted pride restored. Fear of communism, middle class chose fascism over socialism. Weak democratic institutions, constitution had fatal flaws. Underestimating Hitler, elites thought they could use him. Propaganda, Goebbels mastered media manipulation. Violence normalized, opponents beaten, intimidated. Gradual escalation, each step seemed small until it wasn't. Bystander effect, most people didn't resist. Good people stayed silent, and silence was complicity. The Nazis didn't hide who they were. Hitler wrote it all in Mein Kampf. He gave speeches promising violence against Jews. People voted for him anyway. Some agreed, some didn't care. Some thought it wouldn't get that bad. They were all wrong. In 1928, the Nazi Party was a joke. Less than 3% of the vote. A fringe group led by a failed artist. 5 years later, that failed artist controlled Germany. He didn't seize power in a revolution. He was handed power by people who thought they could control him. By voters who believed his promises. By citizens who stayed silent when others were attacked. Democracy died in Germany, not with a bang, but with a vote. One step at a time. One compromise at a time. One silence at a time. Until it was too late. 70 million people died in World War II. 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. Entire cities were reduced to ash. All because ordinary people made a choice. They chose to believe a man who told them exactly who he was. This is not ancient history. This is a warning. Democracy is fragile. It can be voted away. It has been before. Remember Germany. Remember how it started. Remember how easily it happened. And never let it happen again.